close your eyes. It is the year 408 AD in Ravenna. The air is thick with a damp, chilling saltiness. A general who commands the empire's finest legions could easily overthrow the incompetent emperor and build a dynasty of his own. Yet when the executioner's blade draws near, he orders his men not to resist. He walks calmly to the scaffold, as if death were not an end, but a long-awaited rest. This man is Stilicho. A man of half-barbarian blood, yet a guardian who loves Rome more deeply than any noble. Tonight, by the soft glow of a flickering fire, let us wander into his true life through this gentle, unburdened story. We will cast aside the slanders of treason and touch a soul fighting alone beneath the fading sunset. You will find that the deeds forgotten by later ages were but the last candle he burned for this crumbling empire. The crack in the story appeared on the night Emperor Theodosius passed away. The old emperor entrusted his young heir and the entire broken Western Roman Empire to Stilicho. It was an honor of the highest order, yet also a terrible curse. Stilicho was in his prime then, with a resolute face and a calm gaze that transcended all ethnic divides. As a half-Vandal, he always remained an outsider in Rome's center of power. Even with his glorious victories, even after marrying into the imperial family, suspicious glances followed him wherever he went. He had to strive harder than anyone to silence the arrogant senators. He fought barbarians in the bitter winds of the Rhine and blocked the Gothic hordes at the Alpine passes. Every victory prolonged the empire's life, yet also deepened the envy of mediocre men. He was like a craftsman mending a leaking ship, every patch he laid only revealed more raging waves. And all he could rely on was the unspoken loyalty deep within his heart. Let us skip the tedious battle reports and turn directly to the Battle of Pollentia in 402 AD. It was the ultimate showdown between Stilicho and Alaric, king of the Goths. By then, Gothic cavalry had penetrated deep into Italy, and the city of Rome trembled in fear. Stilicho marched day and night from the distant northern frontier. Instead of launching a suicidal head-on attack, he used complex terrain and the intuition of a great general to corner the arrogant Alaric. The battle began amid the Easter bells. Stilicho remained composed on horseback, his iconic, slightly worn Roman leather armor soaked in sweat. In the end, the Goths retreated in defeat. Yet Stilicho chose not to annihilate them completely, but offered a dignified peace treaty. This restraint was labeled treason by his political enemies. But in Stilicho's mind, the empire had already bled dry. If Rome could not learn to coexist with the barbarians, it would perish entirely. He danced upon the blade of power, trying to stitch together a land where people could sleep in peace amid extreme hatred. In the military camp at Pavia, conspiracy spread like poisonous mist through the air. The young Emperor Honorius, a boy Stilicho had raised as his own, listened to the slanders of the treacherous courtier Olympus. They told the emperor that Stilicho planned to pass the throne to his own son. They told the army that this barbarian general was betraying their homeland. Xenophobic anger erupted among the soldiers. Stilicho's loyal generals were assassinated one after another. Yet he still held a mighty army. His men tearfully begged him, "General, one word from you, and we will march back to Ravenna." Stilicho sat in his tent, moonlight gilding his graying temples. He fell silent for a very long time. He remembered the Emperor Theodosius's dying wish. He remembered the Roman dream he had guarded his entire life. If he rebelled, the empire would descend into even bloodier civil war. If he did not, he would die without a grave. In that moment, he showed a mercy almost divine. He ordered his army to disband. He chose the hardest path, to trade his own life for the last shred of dignity of the empire. His final moments took place in a church in Ravenna, where Stilicho had sought the last sacred refuge. Olympus's messenger arrived with a fake decree of pardon. The moment Stilicho stepped outside, the real arrest warrant was read aloud. Around him stood a crowd of onlookers, some of whom he had once saved from war, yet now their eyes burned with blind hatred. Stilicho felt no anger, offered no defense. He simply straightened his robes gently, his facial features soft in the morning light. He even refused his guard's last attempt to rescue him. He knelt on one knee and exposed his neck to the executioner's broadsword. In the logic of that age, this scene was absurd. In a century full of usurpers and conspirators, he achieved his final affirmation of what it meant to be Roman through ultimate self-sacrifice. When the blade fell, Rome's last pillar crumbled silently. 1 year after Stilicho's death, Alaric's Gothic army returned to Italy. This time, no one named Stilicho stood in their way. In 410 AD, the eternal city of Rome fell. History proved that killing Stilicho was the Western Roman Empire's act of self-destruction. We tell his story tonight not to relive that bloody past, but to find a quiet power called loyalty amid the ruins. Stilicho teaches us that true greatness lies not in glorious victories, but in standing firm when all falls apart, even when the whole world misunderstands you. The peace within your heart remains your greatest medal. The story is finished now. You may already feel the cool, somber evening breeze from the Adriatic Sea. Sleep now. Let all strife fade away with that desolate sunset. Good night.